Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. I know there were a few people, including shout out to Wayne, who wanted me to do my worst of 2021 list since we are at the end of the year. I could honestly fit like 30, 40 movies because I think this has been one of the worst year for movies in a long while. I really, truly do. But I put it down to 20. No, I did not see the new Matrix film. Number one, I got no paid request for it. Number two, I've been busy fulfilling other actual requests. Plus, I did want to play a couple games. Have some free time to do that. Also, I knew the film would suck. I saw the trailer. I ranted on the trailer. People told me I was full of shit. There were people that told me I didn't know what I was talking about. And then guess what? People saw the film, and a lot of people said it's shit. It fucking shit. It sucks, and it's shit. So why do I want to go purposefully to watch a 2.5-hour movie that's just going to piss me off when I'm like, okay, I either have paid requests I need to fulfill, that comes first, or you know what, there's some video games I got for Christmas that I want to play. And maybe record, film, edit, upload, maybe a couple people enjoy. That'd be a better... That or fulfilling paid requests or a better use of my time than watching some bullshit Matrix film. So, I didn't see that fucking movie. And it seems like I'm not missing much. Oh, it's like a remake of the first. And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? I already said this. I already fucking knew it. So, what do I go back... Well, I guess I'll go backwards. Number 20. And I'm not going to go in-depth on these movies because I've already talked about these movies. I've already ranted on these movies. If you want to hear more of my thoughts, just go to the channel, type in the name of the movie. You'll find a much longer review of it. Number 20, music. This was an embarrassing film where if you know anyone who has mental handicaps, the way it's portrayed in this is dumbfounding and kind of surprising in the year 2021 that they would do this. But yeah, music, it tries to be this musical, but it's boring. The songs don't work. And the way it handles mental handicap, the mentally handicapable, just fucking dumbfounding. Number 19, and I'll be honest, most of these films I have emptied out of my brain. I have emptied out of my brain, so you're not going to get a lot of details. Because I barely remember half these fucking films. Because if it's that fucking bad, I just want to delete it from my brain. Like putting it in this recycle bin on your computer. Number 19, Karen. Where this girl, who's a neighbor, because a black couple's moved in. It's like a really shitty version of that film Lakeview Terrace with Sam Jackson. Which that was a decent film. This is like a really shitty version of that. I mean, her fucking name is actually Karen. And they try to make a joke of it. Wait, her name's actually Karen? The behavior is so ridiculous and so over the top and so mind-numbingly stupid that's surprising this film got made. I mean, you're trying to do a fucking thriller movie, literally with... you call it a Karen. That kind of tells the whole fucking bit of business. Give me a break. Plus, with the lesser... I have to save my energy when I get to, like, my top 10, top 12. So I don't want to blow my fuse yet. Number 18, Thunder Force. Thunder Fist Fuck. That's the... Do people remember that movie? That was a superhero action comedy starring Melissa McCarthy. And what was the one girl's name? Melissa McCarthy got super strength. The other girl, Octavia Spencer. Yeah, Octavia Spencer. She got invisibility. Once again, Melissa McCarthy's husband directs it. They need to get the fuck away from each other, at least entertainment-wise, because they make unfunny movies with lame jokes. This had lame action on top of it. And Melissa McCarthy, you need to take a break for a couple years. How can we miss you if you don't go away? You either need to take a break or try to do different stuff. St. Vincent. You were decent in this Bill Murray film called St. Vincent because there's a different off the beaten path type of role. Do more of that, less of this. Number 17, Cinderella 2021. If you want to see Cinderella sing a bunch of remixed versions of pop songs and be very, very woke, Cinderella 2021 is your bag. It's not my fucking bag. Take the bag, tie it up, throw it in the fucking river, hopefully it drowns. Number 16, Shadow in the Cloud. The year started off bad when this was like one of the first films I saw in 2021. I know places say 2020, but technically for us to see 2020, they say that because it's like, oh, it's in a festival. No, when was it released for people to see? 2021. So I'll put it in the year 2021. Shadow in the Cloud was Chloe Grace Moretz from Kick-Ass. I remember this pissed me off because this is an idea that I thought could work. You do a stylistic take of the World War II era, but you take a page from the the comics back in the day, where it's like a stylist version, kind of like Sky Captain, The World of Tomorrow, like that type of. It's old, but doing it in a stylistic fashion, and about a woman who is a gunner in this plane. They're going on a mission, and a gremlin is on board. And you think, oh, maybe it's like 3, 4, 5 of these motherfuckers. And there's no way to land, so they have to try to make it to... Maybe they're battling bad guys. So it's like they're having... The pilot and gunners having to deal with German airplanes, while the rest of the crew have to deal with these gremlins. No. Instead, let's have 40 minutes of the film be guys repeatedly showing how much guys suck, how much, oh, they hate women in the military, and you're just a woman, and your pussy stinks, and your thumb smells like ass, and your breath smells like shit, and you're a fucking pussy, and you're a fucking girl, and girls are weak, and boys rule, girls drool, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we did. Oh, guys are so misogynistic. Guys are assholes. Blah, 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 blah. This whole thing just came off as fucking redundant, boring, and made me go, are you fucking shitting me? There's such a waste of a fucking idea. There's such a waste of potential. Such a huge fucking waste of potential. It is insane to me how much they wasted it. And I didn't even get to the dumbest part. She has a package. She keeps a secret. What's in the package? The package is being thrown around so much they hit my fucking glasses. I might as well. Because I might as well take these glasses and throw them away after what I saw. I might as well take these, fucking break them, throw them in the fucking garbage after what I fucking saw. Of this and the other fucking movies. You have the package be a baby. A baby. That's in the compartment and is being deathly quiet. So it's the best behaved baby that was fine during liftoff and all this stuff, and is being thrown around and hanging. This, oh my god, man. They took this idea, they just ruined it. They ruined it. It's so stupid. A baby in the package. A baby. A fucking baby. I was hating the film as is. When it got to that point, I'm like, fuck this. I kind of just went like this. I give up on this fucking movie, man. So yeah, Shadow in the Cloud could kiss my ass. 15, which I'm surprised is this low, but that's how awful this year was. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. Venom 2, Let There Be Dog Shit. It continued the mediocrity that followed the first film. Tom Hardy, the way he portrays his character, I just don't think it's that funny. Woody Harrelson, I have no issues with, but he was wasted. You make a Carnage film, you make it PG-13, you make it neutered. It just doesn't work. That doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me, brother. You neuter Venom. I mean, you neutered Venom. You even neutered Carnage. It's a film with Carnage in the title, and there's no fucking Carnage. He does some fucking weird tornado thing in the prison that he never does again, that I never knew Carnage could do, a fucking tornado maneuver, like he was Storm from X-Men. Never does that maneuver again, and the only time they fight is at the end. And I would say technically it's a better fight than the fight in the first one, because I actually understand a little bit of what's going on. But there's not much to the fight still. Just you take away any grittiness, take away blood, the humor wasn't that funny. Venom, he's a lethal protector who doesn't do any protecting. There's like no action scenes with Venom until that fight at the end. Your title character is just trying to be a shitty episode of The Odd Couple, where they break up as friends, they go their separate ways, and Venom, the symbiote, taking over people's bodies, looks like he's killing them. Just when Venom breaks up with Eddie Brock, he possesses other people. It looks like when he leaves the body, that person's dead. And it doesn't really go into any detail. Is that person dead? Are they alive? What the fuck happened? It gets to a club, takes a microphone, and does this. That's what you made Venom into. With a microphone in a club, peace out, dog. Mic drop. I mean, what is up with this year and mic drops? Porky Pig does in Space Jam 2, which I'll get to that. Venom does it. What's next? RoboCop? They'll do another RoboCop, and RoboCop, thank you for your cooperation. That's a RoboCop goes in to bust up a fucking club, and he tries to tell a rap to be hip to the hop, to the hop to the hip. Thank you for your cooperation. Jesus Christ. So again, Venom 2. Lack of action, lack of excitement, lame humor. Thankfully, it was short, 90 minutes. That's like one of its only saving graces. I like Woody Harrelson, but Shriek, I know she was in the comics. Part of me is like, she didn't need to be in this fucking film, man. Just Carnage was wasted. And that's what makes it more upsetting. They're not going to do Carnage again. You think they're going to do Carnage again anytime soon? Why would they? And you wasted it on a neutered PG-13, barely did any destruction, barely did any killing, barely did anything. You wasted that character. And even the way Carnage looks was lame. There's no much distinction in his voice. You never really felt Carnage as a character. You didn't have a lot of scenes of Carnage itself talking and interacting, and which is part of the appeal of Carnage. It seemed like a lot of times when Carnage talked, it was just himself. It wasn't like one talked to the other. It seemed like they were just bonded. Carnage. We are Carnage. It just fucking makes my head hurt. Number 14, old. M. Night Shyamalan's shtick is old. This is the movie where you have the line, "Black don't crack." You have a plot that so many times it becomes inconsistent with what it's trying to tell you. There are scenes that come off as laughable, even though it's supposed to be a serious story. The acting, he does not know how to direct actors. M. Night Shyamalan, Unbreakable was a lucky break. No pun intended. He does not know how to handle actors. We saw this in The Happening. We saw this in Lady in the Water. We see this in this. Just people don't really act like people. They act like weird action figures that he's manipulating, and the weird tone and voice and the weird way they like certain phrases are spoken, and M. Night Shyamalan needs to fucking retire. Please get the fuck out of Hollywood. You have an overrated hack of a director. You got lucky with The Sixth Sense. Unbreakable is your best movie. Leave it the fuck alone. You made more bad than good. Fuck Old. Fuck The Visit. Fuck all these movies that you've done. Except Unbreakable. Signs, I can enjoy despite some flaws. At least Mel Gibson I liked in that. This, again, what the fuck was the name he gave to the black guy who was a rapper? Some weird fucking... I forgot what it was, man. There's some weird, stupid-ass name. It was boring. Mystery was not interesting. And then at times it was fairly inconsistent. And just more goofy than what M. Night thought he was doing. Number 13, Zack Snyder's Justice League. 4 hours, and the movie still sucked. It's overrated. It was incredibly boring. I don't care for the depiction of these characters. There's so many things that are funny, but not intended to be funny about that movie. Whether it be Aquaman going to the water and a bunch of women singing a chorus, and one literally takes his dirty ass sweater and sniffs it like a pervert sniffs a pair of panties. I did Aquaman. I'm gonna take your shirt, smell it. How's that not ridiculous? How's that not fucking stupid? The Flash. The stupid slow-mo where he goes in and saves someone, and he has a little fucking hot dog that ready for him to put it into her open mouth. Trying to be very... I don't know, what was it trying to be serious? What was it trying to be? She looks like a fucking corpse or a mannequin, and there's a hot dog. I was ready for him to put it like... dipped in her mouth. Or the bit where... what was it? Wonder Woman. She comes in, she kills people. There's like blood on the wall. She literally eviscerates someone. Like they blow up. Because the whole fucking thing, the whole fucking wall blows up. 3 feet away from the other characters. And then, after she just murdered a bunch of people and... okay, they're bad guys. Okay, bad guys ready to kill innocent people. Her killing them, I can understand. But the fact that you made the entire fucking wall blow up when there's a group of people 3 feet away, and then the little girls who just saw all this death go, "Oh, Wonder Woman, I want to be like you." Yes, child. Maybe one day you can be like me. But give her a little sweet homework moment after she's throwing a guy and his fucking brains are still on the wall, and there's another guy like, imagine that guy probably got blown to bits, but then turns around, oh, Wonder Woman, I want to be like you. And it just like, he doesn't think about this. Zack Snyder doesn't think about this shit. And there's no reason this needed to be 4 goddamn hours long. There's not enough story there for 4 hours. It was torture to sit through. I had to sit through it twice. There's a second time, my friend Michael CP wanted to watch it, so I watched it with him. It was such a fucking chore. The fact this isn't in the top 10 is surprising to even me. But there's films that are sadly even worse. And there's one thing I will change my mind on. I said in that review, I think it's better than the theatrical cut. No. I changed my mind. I would rather watch the theatrical cut. This is only 2 hours long. And that Superman, weird mustache, notwithstanding, is Superman I like more than what they do here. So I actually take that back. I would rather watch the theatrical cut than this. At least I could watch that twice by the time this one gets done. It's just so full of himself and so full of shit. And that's what this movie comes off as. A guy who's full of himself and doesn't know he's full of shit. And that's Zack Snyder in a nutshell. And I'll talk about him later. More about him later. Fuck Zack Snyder's Justice League. Fucking hack Snyder. Again, you want to know more of my thoughts? My reviews are up on the channel. Number 12, the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie. The live action. Fuck Cole. They took a tournament. They fucked up the idea. The stupid thing with the fucking tattoos. And this Cole, a character we don't give a shit about. I don't know why they introduced this character. We have all of these characters we could utilize. Let's make up a new, boring, bland, milquetoast character. Liu Kang was nothing in this movie. Raiden was nothing in this movie. Johnny Cage wasn't even in the movie. Has a couple gore moments. I don't get, whatever. That don't save the movie. I'm sorry. What? At most 2 minutes of gore? I'm sorry, that doesn't save the fucking film. The fight scenes are lackluster. The fight scenes in the 1990 film were better choreographed, better directed, and more stylistic than the fight scenes in here. The fight scenes at times are cut a bit too quick, and this director did not know how to film fight scenes. And this day and age, when you have films like The Raid Redemption and films, even direct-to-video films have Scott Adkins and such, the fact that you can't have a director that knows how to film a fucking fight scene, completely ridiculous. I don't remember who the director was. I don't think he directed anything before. Why the fuck would you get him to direct a Mortal Kombat movie? Makes me appreciate the Sonic the Hedgehog movie even more. That's why I look forward to the sequel. Unlike, and there's another video game movie that's on the list. I'll get to that, which pissed me off even more so. Number 11. I was thinking of putting this in the top 10, but the others just made me more mad. Number 11, Spiderman No Way Home. People get mad about that. I know people disagree. That's cool. If you're asking me what is the most overrated film of the year, I would say this one. This one and Zack Snyder's Justice League are the most overrated films of this year. It's number 11. I hated Spider-Man No Way Home. It has the dumbest Peter Parker in live-action history. When I did that review, people were nice about it. I appreciate it. If you like the film, that's cool. We just disagree. Nothing wrong with that. But I would ask people, just to, conversation. How do you have a Peter Parker so stupid? He invites 4 villains. Electro, Sandman, Doc Ock, Osborn into his home. Into his fucking home. No safety precautions. No confinement. Come to my home. Lizard, you don't have to stay outside in the van. Which, hell, that was done better when King Shark stayed in the van in the Suicide Squad. But anyway. And you come into my home, there's Aunt May. I'm there, I'm like, okay, Tom Holland, Peter Parker, look at what you're doing. You have 4 villains that could be real, gain up on you and try to kill you. I know Doc Ock, he's a bit controlled, but the other 3 could overpower you, fuck up your suit, goes back to Doc Ock, and then it's 4-on-1. Even 3-on-1 would be tough. Because even 2-on-1 with Sam and Electro would be enough. Because here's the thing, at the end of the film, it's 3 villains versus 3 Spider-Man, and 2 of them are Electro and Sandman. Think about that. It took 3 Spider-Men and Doc Ock, who's a good guy, so 4 to combat 3 villains. And of those 3 villains, 2 was Sandman and Electro. All 3 Spider-Men to take on just those 3. And 2 of them are in your apartment right now. And you're by yourself, and your Aunt May is 5 feet away. So you invite villains to your home. No, just in case. What if this happens? Nope. Aunt May, why don't you send her, I don't know. Hey, Jon Favreau. I remember when you almost got killed in Iron Man 3. Take Aunt May, go camping, go to Disneyland, go to a beach, go wherever. Go stay with Pepper Potts, go to Paltrow. Go stay with her for a week, her and her daughter. No. Fucking 4 villains? What could go wrong? Aunt May's 5 feet away. What could go wrong? Oh, no, we need Aunt May there to give the joke, do you want fresh water or seawater? And Doc Ock goes, huh? Well, you know, because you're an octopus, right? That's why Aunt May is there. I'm like, well, no shit, spoiler, no shit Aunt May dies. Because Peter Parker is the dumbest motherfucker in the Marvel Universe. I ask people, oh, that's a nitpick? That becomes the essential part of the story where these villains, lo and behold, attack him, destroy most of the fucking apartment building, kill Aunt May, because he's a fucking, almost said it, sheetard. Fucking moron. You waste Tobey Maguire, who doesn't do shit, Andrew Garfield, the shit he does, what, clean a fucking cobweb? And what's funny is, of the 3, he kind of had the best character moments. Andrew Garfield, when I watched Amazing Spider-Man 2, despite its flaws, Andrew Garfield impressed me in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Watch it again. And I will be honest, I'd rather see another Spider-Man movie. I know there's like a petition. It's not going to happen. Petitions don't do shit. I'd rather see Andrew Garfield do another Spider-Man movie than Tom Holland. I don't want to see any more Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I don't. He does a good job in the role, but his films they either don't hold up like Homecoming, or they're mixed bad like Far From Home, or they're overrated bullshit like this. Doctor Strange is a fucking idiot. They ruined his character. Why the fuck should I give a shit about the sequel to Doctor Strange? Which there was a trailer. Didn't impress me much. Oh, Sam Raimi's directed it. So fucking what? When was the last time Sam Raimi was worth a shit? I'm all ears. When was Sam Raimi worth a shit? When was the last time? How many years has it been? How many decades? So, Doctor Strange, they fucked up, turned to an idiot. This is the dumbest Peter Parker ever. Again, I explained, how the fuck do you invite 4 villains into your fucking home with Aunt May? You don't even take her to safety. Nope. No one says a fucking thing about it, but it's a masterpiece. 8.9 out of 10 on IMDb. Masterpiece. Best Spider movie ever. No, I'll take Into the Spider-Verse. Sorry, I'll pick that. And the fact that instead of Spider-Man versus Sinister Six, no, it takes 3 Spider-Man to fight 3 villains. And yes, in my opinion, the Lizard is a lower tier villain. I know he's one of the mainstays of the comics, but to me, I think more people look towards Doc Ock or Osborn or even Scorpion and Sandman. I think the Lizard has a couple decent stories, but I do think he's more lower tier. He's kind of, with, and that doesn't mean a bad thing, but I do think he's lower on the list with like the Chameleon and some of these other villains compared to the other guy. That's my opinion on it. Or maybe it's just their interpretation of the Lizard is what makes me think that way. Because you think of the Spider-Man villains of the movies, the Lizard is one of the lesser ones. So maybe it's not the character itself, it's the interpretation of what the character was in The Amazing Spider-Man, and even in this film, which was barely a fucking thing in this film. Had to take all 3 of them to fight just 3 villains, because Osborn came in after, and Doc Ock was a good guy. And Doc Ock had to save 2 Spider-Men from Electro. So really, Doc Ock did that. Just it was boring. Oh, you don't like fun? Where's the fun in the movie? What was supposed to have fun with? Them bitching about MIT? Not, oh, Aunt May was beaten up and in a hospital and I can't have this go on because this could happen again. I need to protect my friends. Fuck. Death of Superman, an animated film I just saw recently from 2018 where Superman not sure about giving his identity to Lois. That was handled better. And that's an animated film from like 3 years ago now. Give me a fucking break. And the action scene at the end was lame. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, they barely did shit. It was like you couldn't tell who was who, because all 3 have similar costumes. So is that Tobey Spider-Man? No, is that Andrew Garfield Spider-Man? Couldn't tell what the fuck was going on. I'm sorry, when it takes 3 Spider-Man to fight 3 villains, fighting off 2 of them from Amazing Spider-Man, that just doesn't impress me much. Doesn't impress me much. Now, if there's 1 Spider-Man against the Sinister Six, you could have some insane stuff with that. But no. Fuck, if you wanted to prove this as a definitive Spider-Man, you would have 6 of them. Mysterio, he faked his death. He could be the 6th one. He faked his death to frame Spider-Man. I remember people thinking that Doctor Strange was going to be Mysterio. That wasn't the case. Have all these villains. Have it be where... Or hell, have a new villain, Scorpion. He's framed for... Yeah, okay. You want to know how you do that? He's framed for murder. He's on the run. He's by himself. He doesn't want anyone near him because he's a danger. They introduced J. Jonah Jameson. He's like, we know who it is. I create this guy, Scorpion. That's kind of what it was in the comics. He got this guy to hunt down Spider-Man for the views, for whatever you want to call it, for the readers, publicity. Things go haywire. So you have Scorpion chasing Spider-Man. Spider-Man is talking to Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is trying to do something. Peter Parker shuts up. Scorpion comes. Scorpion fucks up the spell. Doctor Strange trying to do it. Scorpion is being an asshole. It's J. Jonah Jameson's fault and Scorpion's fault. It's their fault. Damn it, Jameson, you don't know what you're doing. Damn it, J. Jonah, what are you doing? Nope. They're pig-headed. It's their fault. And then all these villains come in, and then Spider-Man has to take care of these 6 villains. And if you want to make this the definitive Spider-Man, the fact that this Spider-Man, because of his experience in the Avengers, because of his experience fighting Thanos, because this is the 6th fucking film he's in, he has a little bit more experience. he is trying to outmaneuver. You finally get the Sinister Six. You want to be at the Statue of Liberty, fine. But he's like, imagine a scene where the Spider-Man is maneuvering, going around Electro's lightning, all Sandman. He throws something, so he goes through a hole created, goes through Sandman, and then dodges Scorpion's tail, kicks Doc Ock in the face, goes over here, gets on the bottom of Green Goblin's glider, maneuvering it, jumps, maybe webs Electro, turns his around so his electrical beams hit Sandman, fry some of his sand molecules. To me, that'd be a much more exciting finale, but instead of this nostalgia bait bullshit. Which is what it was. I know it's number 11, but I'm still bitching about it tremendously more. Andrew Garfield has some nice moments. Tom Holland has some nice acting moments. So there's a couple of nice moments I could say positively, but that's such an overrated film. It's missed potential, and I personally think sooner or later, you give it a year or two, maybe 3 years, people don't look back and go, wait a minute. You had a chance to have Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and this new Spider-Man in one single film. This was potential fucking wasted. Because the other two barely did shit, other than this trying to be comedic sitcom sequence where the dude's mom says, go clean that cobweb in the corner. And Tobey Maguire just enters a portal and goes, hey guys, I'm Tobey Maguire. That's what he did, literally. I think people don't realize just how much of a missed opportunity this was. Maybe it won't happen, but maybe that's just me. So we get to the top 10. I need a drink. Number 10, Space Jam 2 New Legacy. It was a fucking bad marketing ploy for what Warner Brothers shit we have. I find it strange that this is a kids film they're marketing, but then they have villains from A Clockwork Orange in the background. Pepe Le Pew is too bad, so cut him out. But make sure we have a bunch of A Clockwork Orange fucking characters in the background. Let's reference Mad Max Fury Road. Because yeah, Mad Max Fury Road is a fucking kids film. Let's reference Casablanca, because I'm sure all the kids know Casablanca. The Matrix. I mean, I love the film. It's an R-rated film. I mean, it's funny. I don't think they knew what their audience was. I mean, you just say there were jokes in the original Space Jam. Charles Barkley, Betcha Badada, things like that. But maybe I would let that stuff go if the movie was entertaining. Because I do want to be entertained at the end of the day. But LeBron James, yes, Michael Jordan was not much of an actor in Space Jam, but LeBron James is worse. And he's an unlikable character. And he's playing himself. So it fits. Because I think LeBron James is very unlikable in real life. I've never been a fan of LeBron James. I can admit, yes, he's talented on the court. But I think he is a prick. I think he's full of himself. I think he's the type of guy who will say his shit doesn't stink. And I think he just comes off as a fucking asshole. That's just my opinion. I'm like, fuck LeBron James. Yeah, that's just the way I look at it. And what do I want to say? Oh, Porky Pig rapping. Yet again, another mic drop. Stick the microphone up your fucking pork ass. Let's have some bacon and some sausage. Cook the motherfucker. Fuck Porky Pig in this movie. Fuck everybody in this fucking movie. Lola Bunny. Who the hell else? Lola Bunny, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck. You should take what people had flaws with in the original. Oh, I wish there was a little bit more character to the Looney Tunes. If you want to make a sequel and do that, okay, and they don't. So even the mistakes that people said the first one made, you just repeat the same mistakes, but you just did it worse. You just made it worse. With Porky Pig rap battles and... You're so worried. We're so worried that Lola Bunny is too sexualized. Worry about your fucking script. Worry about your fucking... LeBron James being a fucking dickhead to his kid because his kid wants to do stuff with video games. And he's like, no, video games, you can do nothing with that. It's 2021. In 1996, maybe you could make the argument. But in the 2021, when people literally make, at times, thousands or even millions of dollars. Look at PewDiePie. Look at, what's that one guy? Ninja. What was his name? People on Twitch make thousands and thousands of dollars playing video games. Just playing them. And this kid wants to make them. Not just playing, he wants to make them. So LeBron James just comes off as a fucking moron. If it was 1996 and someone did it, okay, video game, I mean, there were still video games, but it wasn't the world of the internet today that you could literally... He could have a YouTube channel showing how he makes video games, and that would make fucking money for the kid. It comes off as just idiotic, and it felt like an old script. They dusted off and didn't change a lot of shit. I found it funny that the Warner Brothers lot, there's like these new posters for films, and then there was one old poster for like Matrix Revolutions from back to 2003. Wait, that's funny. New film, new film. Oh, that's a film from 2003. Okay. Oh, they probably put that in just give people Matrix mind because we want to do a Matrix film. Which again, for all intents and purposes, sounds really shitty. But fuck Space Jam 2. Number 9, Coming to America, the sequel. Eddie Murphy, you had your chance for a comeback after Dolomite Is My Name, and you fucking blew it. You fucking blew it. Dolomite Is My Name, very fun movie. You could pick any project. You decide to do a sequel that no one asked for a sequel to Coming to America. Actually, no, that's a lie. There were people that were asking for it. There were. But, lo and behold, wasn't needed. It was not needed. It was pretty much trying to be a remake of the first, but then at the same time ruining moments from the first, like the first movie, oh, that bit in the bar where they're meeting all these women. Well, what if Leslie Jones led Eddie Murphy into a room and, I don't know, drugged him and raped him, and it's comedy. And Coming to America is not even my favorite Eddie Murphy film. It's not even in my top 10. My top 10 Eddie Murphy films are The Golden Child's number 1. Let's see, I know 48 Hours, Beverly Hills Cop 2. They're somewhere in the top 5. Metro is in the top 5. And then the rest of my top 10 would be like The Distinguished Gentleman I enjoy. Bowfinger I enjoy. What was the other? You know what? I actually like Daddy Daycare. I know, sue me. I actually like that film. Another 40 Hours had the issue of being too similar. But at least in itself, it was still entertaining at the end of the day. If you don't do that, at least, okay, you had some fun humor, fun action scenes. Okay, at least you had that. But I like the original Coming to America. This, take the character and we're going to date rape him, and it's a joke? It's a joke. Why? Because he's a guy? Imagine if a guy did that to a girl and they pulled it off as a joke. But if you... there would be fucking... it would be in the media everywhere. Hashtag cancel the movie. Coming to America 2 is a fucking... Wesley Snipes is wasted. Eddie Murphy's character makes no sense because he was a guy against tradition. But now in the sequel, he's like, I cannot do this because it will break tradition. That makes no fucking sense. The entire point of the first fucking movie was that he broke tradition because he was told he could only marry this girl. And he said, no, I don't want to do what's tradition. I want to go to America, see if I can find someone, live the... And lo and behold, found someone, married her. That was against tradition. That's why the father, James Earl Jones, was mad. And then broke tradition. That was the entire fucking point of the first fucking movie. The point of the first fucking movie was breaking tradition. That's what Eddie Murphy's character did. And in this film, forgets it. It's too fucking stupid. It's not funny either. Number 8, Home Sweet Home Alone. For some reason they thought we needed another Home Alone film where this fat little annoying kid who's a little asshole defends his home, and it's a kid we can't relate to because his house is almost decked out as much as Tony Stark's fucking lair in an Avengers movie. And then your villains are not even villains. They're a couple that just want this doll back that they thought was stolen that could save their house. So it's the kid doing all these pranks to a couple that are not even bad guys. So that's part of the fun of Home Alone, is that Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, number one, they work well together. And number two, they deserve it because they're bad guys, they're villains. So any slapstick lunacy that happens, there's an entertaining thrill because, oh yeah, they deserve it. Well, I don't care for the actors in the film, but the characters, they're not even bad people. So it's like, hey, here's this kid ready to almost kill 2 innocent people throughout an entire fucking 80-minute movie, and at the end, oh, it was a misunderstanding and kumbaya fucking ya. That, with the fact that no one's asking for more Home Alone movies. They did this because Disney bought 20th Century Fox. They bought 20th Century Fox. They changed the name of the studio. Fox is no longer part of it. It's just 20th Century Studios. And said, oh, we own all these IPs. Milk it. Make another Home Alone. Make another Home Alone film. I saw this for free. I saw all these movies for free. So, oh, well, you give them your money. No, they didn't. I saw them for free. I joined Captain Jack Sparrow and the High Seas, and I saw these fucking movies because I don't want to give these fucking people my fucking money. Whether it be ad... Alright. I'm gonna have a stroke by the end of this goddamn thing. Number 7, Candyman. Black Lives Matter, the movie. This movie, imagine making a Candyman movie, and the original Candyman had that kind of social commentary to it as well. I'm not blind to it. I like the original Candyman. But that did it in a film that was better directed, better acted, better performed. You had a good actor like Tony Todd as Candyman. And it also told this sort of Phantom of the Opera, Dracula motif, along with the other proceedings of social commentary. This was social commentary. One, two, three. Social commentary is the first spot, second spot, third spot. Fuck the plot, fuck characters, fuck horror, fuck suspense. How much social commentary do we have in it? It was that's it. That's all he was trying to do. It wasn't entertaining, it wasn't scary, it wasn't suspenseful. The guy who played Candyman, or tried to play Candyman, sucked. And then what? Candyman is then, he only kills black people now? I mean, he only kills white people now? It's like they were trying to know and only use this to kill white people? And then they throw Tony Todd in a shitty cameo. Which doesn't even make sense with the other stuff they were talking about. It was just poorly paced. Again, I reviewed the film on the channel, man. I hate this fucking... I swear, I feel I'm going to have a heart attack by the end of this, man. Number 6, Army of the Dead. Do I want to put that higher? I'll be fair and put it number 6 because you know what? Fuck that. Let's go on number 5 because that film is the most disappointing film of the year and it needs to be in the top 5. So number 6 is Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills, granted, it's a sequel to a film I don't even like, Halloween 2018. To be fair. So it's okay. I don't know if I can say it ruins a whole lot, because I didn't even like the previous film. But Halloween Kills was just such a worthless fucking movie, man. It was a worthless fucking film. It was... Okay, Michael Myers kills. That's cool. And I get it. Slasher films don't have a lot of plot. I get that. Characters can be dumb. That is true. This just took the fucking cake. This just took the fucking cake with it. The movie said, just how dumb can we be? How fucking stupid can we get? So let's have this woman... Michael Myers hits a door and the girl shoots herself in the head. You know, let's have a bunch of people surround Michael Myers at the end. Instead of all you gaining up on him, smashing his fucking head to smithereens. For some reason, why don't all these people have guns and just go... Why are they chasing this guy that looks nothing like Michael Myers, but yet they think he's Michael Myers? Why does Jamie Lee Curtis have nothing to do in this entire fucking film? That was a complaint people had about the original Halloween 2. So if you had a complaint about that, all they did was the same fucking thing. There's nothing new. The mob, I mean, you saw that in bits in Halloween 4. We had the mob. There's a scene in Halloween 4 where the mob shoots and they accidentally killed the wrong person. Those country bumpkins. So even that wasn't new. This proved that there's nothing new you can do with the franchise. Jamie Lee Curtis, her, stay in a hospital for the whole movie. That was like the original Halloween 2. The ending. Was trying to be like the ending of Halloween 4? Or trying to do something else? I don't know. Like that's what it's lead up to? I don't fucking care. The kills were not, I mean, they weren't as great as people made it out to be. I've seen kills. The thing with the eyeball, I saw that in My Bloody Valentine, which have the Blu-ray right there. I saw in that fucking movie. But that was a pickaxe, and then the eyeball comes out the other side. That looked cooler in that movie. Well, it's got so gory. I mean, it's not the goriest movie ever. It was never meant to be. I don't think it's as gory as people. And there's some blood, but I've seen this shit done. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is gory. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 had Michael Myers looking like fucking hobo take a piece of glass and slowly saw someone's fucking head off. It being gory did not save that film from being a piece of shit. It didn't. This film... You had a pointless cameo by Dr. Loomis that I'm like, it just looks off. It just looks weird. Because, you know, it's not Dr. Loomis. It's someone trying to be Dr. Loomis, but you know it's not. And to me, it was, hey, we don't do this because remember the original Halloween? So that... Hollywood has gotten to a state of affairs where they're using nostalgia as a weaponized tool to affect people's emotions to go, hey, we're going to give you some of these little nostalgia juices into your brain. Remember that film Brain Damage? Elmer gives you a little bit of the high. That's what Hollywood's doing, a little bit of this high of nostalgia. Do you remember this? Do you remember this? Ah, yes, you remember a time when movies were worth a shit. Because we can't do the stuff well today. So let's remind you of a better time. Oh, the fact that the sheriff, Will Patton, the previous film, he got stabbed and he got run the fuck over. And I forgot about that. Someone told me, so I found the scene on YouTube, rewatched it. Yeah, the motherfucker got ran over by a car and slit neck. Yet somehow... someone found him, he got rushed to the hospital, and got there the same time as Jamie Lee Curtis was there. Then you watch the first film, how long between the sheriff died and Jamie Lee Curtis went to the hospital? All that time, this guy's neck was bleeding like a stuck pig, and his body had been run over by a fucking vehicle. So it's like, and this is the same director and the same writer of the previous fucking film, and they don't even remember their own fucking movie. Some of the dumbest shit in a Halloween film. Even with the Firemen, and yes, I know, with the fire hose, I didn't mention this, the fire hose. I get, if you hit someone with that, but it would fuck your day up. But here's my point, and I wish I stretched it. I wish I stressed it out more in that review. The reason the fire hose thing made me laugh is, yes, you put that on someone, it will fucking could kill them, potentially, at least break their ribs. My point is that would be instantaneously. Instantaneously, you would have the person fly back. The fact that it's going and Michael Myers is still walking and the guy is still holding it. As soon as he takes 3 steps, you drop the fucking thing, you run for the cops, you run to get help. You're not a SWAT team, you're firemen. But if the rest of the movie was worth a shit, I would let that go. But it just... the fucking gay couple... just lame attempts at humor. Like getting the knife as like a little teeny knife. John and Little John, whatever the fuck their names were. This whole bunch of ridiculous bullshit. It was just boring at the end of the day. It was fucking boring. Number 5, Army of the Dead. Zack Snyder, you had your chance. This was your last chance. You blew it. I will never look forward to another thing you do ever again. People say I'm unfair. I gave Army of the Dead a shot. Because I said I enjoyed the trailer. I did. I enjoyed the trailer. I love the use of The Gambler, the remix of The Gambler. In fact, that song I'm addicted to. That's been the song I've been listening to the most. The remix of that. Someone did like a nice remix of The Gambler. I've been listening to that throughout the entire year. I like Batista in the film. I like that Zack Snyder doing another R-rated zombie film. I even don't mind the idea. They're going in for a heist. Why you would need money in it? Well, they established that it's only quarantined in this one area. The rest of the world is fine. This one area has zombies. They don't nuke it. And someone goes, I have a fortune in money. They're going to take care of the zombie. There'll be no more zombies. Get my money. It's like, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't want that wasted. If you don't want to do it, fine. If someone wants to take the risk. Again, in a world where only one section has zombies in it, I can buy that a bit more. I mean, it would be... Think of any country that has a section with villains in it. Whatever villains you want to pick. Terrorists, whatever. And now have the same plot. I want you to go into this place. It's very dangerous, this one place. The military's going to nuke it. I need you guys to go in, steal that money, and come back. Okay. And that's what it should have been. But it wasn't. The trailer lied. There's scenes in the trailer that you think are action scenes, but it's just a fucking dream scene. The whole big part of the trailer, where they're in a circle firing, that's a dream scene that doesn't exist. Them with the money, that's a dream scene. The movie, after a fun opening, it died down with lame characters, poor pacing, a daughter character that is one of the worst characters I've seen this entire year, the Batista's daughter. Zack Snyder, I know your daughter passed away. I'm very sorry about that. I am. This character still sucks. The way she's written sucks. The fact that she got everybody killed sucks. The fact she's one of the only people that live sucks. Just she was the worst character in the movie. That should not have been part of it. If you took this film, you fix the pacing, you take the daughter character out of it, and be more of a straightforward, oh no, they get there, but actually it's for this thing, for a cure, and we don't weaponize zombies, and no, just let it be the fucking, we go in to steal the money, and it was tougher than we thought, because these zombies are a lot smarter than we thought. And then you have this chase scene, action sequences, you can do it. Hardcore Henry had a micro budget compared to this. And that's a film that at a point seemed like this one big action-packed chase that just flowed and got your adrenaline pumping. Imagine the pacing of a Hardcore Henry type of movie with these guys and gals. Try and get to it. They get the money. They get the fuck out of Dodge. They have a time limit. Some people die. Let Batista live. Let the girl he was with live. And maybe, what's the one guy who got bit and was on the airplane? Maybe let him live. Let like 3 of them live. The rest die. The pilot dies, so they gotta find another way. Maybe there's like some underground tunnel thing. Or something. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot more you could have done with this. They fucked it up. A lot of just... The one girl who's like the wannabe Vasquez, she hasn't been bit yet, and the rest of the people are just standing there, not going up to help. They're just standing there watching while she's fighting the zombies and then gets bit. And you go, fuck Zack Snyder. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, man. Fuck this guy up his stupid fucking ass. James Gunn, I think, is a reason why Dawn of the Dead remake worked. Zack Snyder, you're a fucking hack. You're a fucking hack. You have 2 films on this list. Dumb as fuck. You suck and you're dumb as fuck. Number 4, The Eternals. My review of The Eternals. There you go. One of the most boring films this year. It was a slog to sit through. It's way overlong. Characters that have no life to them. It's trying to put so many characters into the mainstay of its storyline. It's trying to introduce and focus on so many characters that none of them really get much development. And I just don't care. Did not care about any of them. Not one damn bit. I mean, one of them fucking literally just leaves the movie, and then when he comes back, everything's perfectly fine. Oh yeah, the world could have ended, and we needed your help. You just left the team, and then you come back, and you're like, oh, don't even, no complaints, not any conversation. Fuck you, buddy, you left. Nothing at all. Lame villain, lame story, poor pacing. Just a complete, utter fucking bore fest. Bore fest. And yeah, it says some of the top 20. I could go further, like Shang-Chi and Black Widow. Spider-Man No Way Home I put above because it's just more overrated. And it pissed me off more. It pissed me off more than those films. And that's why it's on my worst. Black Widow and Shang-Chi I don't like, but Spider-Man No Way Home and Eternals pissed me off more. Now we get to the top 3. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yes, the 2016 film is technically worse. But Afterlife pisses me off more. I said this in comparison with the Alien films. Technically, Alien vs. Predator is a worse film. But Alien 3 pisses me off more. It pisses me off more with what it does to the canon. It pisses me off more to what it does to the story of the previous films. This makes the 2 previous Ghostbuster films, wow, that's what it led up to? It led up everything Ghostbusters 1 and 2 that I enjoy, I laughed, I was entertained by. It just led up to the Ghostbusters breaking apart yet again. That's something I didn't like in Ghostbusters 2. They did it tenfold. They break up. And then for some reason no one believes Edon. It's fucking Edon. Why would no one believe Edon Spangler? And then he has all this evidence. There's a fucking entire underground layer with dates. There's literally shit going up into the fucking sky. He literally set up proton packs to zap this thing to keep it under control. He could literally take a fucking phone, film all this, and someone said, well, do you live in the city or the country? I bet you live in the city. No, I don't live in the city. I wish I did, but I don't live in the city. I live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. And even I can get signal on my phone. But even because the person was, well, maybe you can't send the footage to them. He has shitty service. Yeah, he can create a bunch of scientifically advanced ghost traps, including a giant ghost trap. But he can't get good phone service. Or you physically walk, drive, fly. Here it is, Ray. How about them apples? Do you believe me now? And the fact that Ray of all them would not believe it, the guy who was so happy to go down a fucking pole, the type of character that helped buy a fucking station because they could, we could camp out, for the night. I'm gonna get my stuff. That type of guy? People change. Yeah, I heard that with Disney Star Wars. It's an excuse, in my opinion, a lame excuse to try to obscure bad writing. Ghostbusters Afterlife, it was boring. It was a ripoff of the ending of the first one. The same villains. The Tea Master. The Gatekeeper. Gozer. Oh, we got Slimer, but it's blue. So we call him Muncher. Munch on my nuts. Oh, you had one ghost that was pretty much like the cab driver zombie in the fucking first Ghostbusters. And it's like blink and you miss it. You had a blink and you miss it ghost that was like a toy from back in the day. It did nothing. It didn't blink and you miss it. But we got the terror dogs. Yeah, we also got this is no Dana. I mean, this is no mom. This is only Zool. And the possessed guy and girl. And the guy being caught by the terror dog. Like Rick Moranis got caught in the first movie. And them making out. And then they're terror dogs. And then you get the same fucking villain looking the fucking same, even the same fucking haircut as the first movie. I didn't give a shit about the characters. The little girl was there, but at the same time, I could give a rat's ass. The kid from Stranger Things, he was there to try to be this one girl's boyfriend, and that went nowhere, and no one gave a shit about that romance. And it was a comedy that wasn't funny, and people go, well, what didn't need to be funny? It didn't need to be funny. Ghostbusters are comedies. Yeah, they are supposed to be funny. Okay, what's another comedy franchise? What, if I did a Three Stooges theme but made it a horror film? Okay, Home Alone. I mean, we had a shitty Home Alone, but imagine a Home Alone, but it's Home Alone, but it's a Home Alone in style 7. There you go. I mean, we joke about it, but if that was an actual Home Alone 3 with Macaulay Culkin, but he became the killer like Jigsaw from the Saw films, yeah, people could joke about it, but you know what? In truthfulness, I wouldn't want to fucking see that. And Ghostbusters I liked even more than Home Alone. And the fact that I think the ending was manipulative. I think it was manipulative to the audience. I think it's more creepy to have a CG Harold Ramis. I'm sorry, I think that's creepy. I think that opens a whole can of worms of what you can and can't do with people who are no longer with us. And yeah, their family may say yes, but still them themselves are not. It just opens up a whole can of worms. Just opens up a whole can of worms and go, oh my god, man. And to me, I didn't feel anything. I just thought it was trying to be very hard to be manipulative. And if you're going to do that whole thing, just have it be the last go-around of the Ghostbusters. Their buddy, Edon, died. Sadly, life got in the way, which is relatable to a lot of people. Life gets in the way, and you just split apart, not for any reason, just how it goes. This brings them back together, and you have a new villain. New creative ideas. Creative ghost designs. I find it ironic so many people say Ghostbusters 2 is just a remake of the first film, but Ghostbusters 2 has more new shit than this film did. But this film gets the pass, while Ghostbusters 2 got the shaft. Again, how many people said Ghostbusters 2 is just like the first movie, it's just the same as the first movie? This movie is like the first. This movie is more like the first movie than Ghostbusters 2 is. Ghostbusters 2 introduced the slime, the mood slime, and has new ghosts. I gave him the chair. Why don't you just tell him you don't believe in ghosts? The whole sequence in the courtroom, all the ghost shenanigans in the third act, it's not, let's just bring Stay Puft again. No. Let's just bring the Terror Dogs again. No. They created new stuff. New villain. But this is just a lame, lousy, manipulative, and it's billed as a comedy, and it's not funny. I would tell people, name 5 things that are funny, and people go, well, that scene with Bill Murray and Sigourney Weaver. after the credits, and it's just referencing what Bill Murray did in the first movie. It's a comedy that's not funny. It's a drama that's more manipulative than sincere. And it's completely a bore and a chore to sit through. And when you have Ray saying, Egon Spengler can rot in hell, you can rot in hell movie. So, Ghostbusters Afterlife, I think it's an insult to Ghostbusters. I don't get why he's getting the praise. I think it did the same thing that the Disney Star Wars films did to Star Wars. It did the same exact fucking thing. But yet the same people that complain about Disney Star Wars, like I do as well, they praise this film. But it does the same fucking thing that Disney Star Wars did. I don't understand that. It did the same thing that Disney Star Wars did. The same thing. Shitting on previous characters, just doing the same fucking bit with a lack of originality and creativity. But this gets the pass, and that's deservedly gets the shaft, but I don't understand it. Number 2, Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. I did a whole hour rant on this. What more can I say? Well, I did probably hour rant on all these. You had your chance to make a decent Resident Evil film. You had your chance. And you fucked it up. You fucked it up fucking royally. You combine this and the first one, and you did such a piss poor job with it. You try to put too many characters that you can't handle. Leon Kennedy is a fucking joke that shot his partner in the ass, that is sleeping and someone shoots stuff off the top of his sleeping dunce of a head. Jill was barely a character. There's a lack of horror. For an R rating, it's rather fucking tame. If you think about the film, what really big grisly moments were there? There's a lack of monsters. You have a couple zombies. A dog pops in for 30 seconds. One licker pops in for another 40 seconds. And then the one bitch fucking breaks his fucking neck. It's just the director going, I'm going to throw this. Oh, that reminds me of the game. Automatically, that must mean it's a pass. This game, you can make into a movie by itself. The first game, you can make a movie into itself. People say, no, you can't. Yeah, you can. You spend 15-20 minutes building up the character, and then you follow the game. The template is there. People have literally edited 90-minute movies of Resident Evil 1 and 90-minute movies of Resident Evil 2. Well, what, do you want them to follow the game? Yeah, actually. I like to see that attempt. I would. Well, don't you want them to do something new? What new shit did they do in this? And you're doing an adaptation of the game? Yes. Why is it that if you're adapting a novel, and then the novel's completely different, I love The Running Man. I didn't care for the short story Stephen King, Richard Bachman made. But there are people who don't like The Running Man because it didn't follow the story. There's a lot of other books and stories that they make a movie, it doesn't follow it, and people go, oh, well, that sucks because, look, it didn't follow it. And that's fine, but if you mention with video games, they go, well, you just want the same thing? No, I want a faithful adaptation of the story. This wasn't it. It was put Resident Evil 1 and 2, put it in a blender, whatever comes out, we just film it. And for a zombie movie, it's tame. This is one of the tamest zombie films I've seen. No gut ripping, head ripped off. This is one of the tamest R-rated zombie films I've ever seen. So people, oh, you enjoy it as a B movie. No, there are plenty of zombie films that are gorier than this. and more fun than this. Welcome to Raccoon City was cheap. The first half, nothing really happened. And the second half, we're in the Raccoon Police Department, but barely anything happens in there. We're in the mansion, but barely anything happens in there. Leon, just a complete moronic comedy sidekick. Chris Redfield really does much of nothing. The whole stuff in the mansion, barely anything was done with it. You see the zombie, Chris Redfield with the lighter, you shoot a bunch of zombies that we can't see. Helicopter crashes to the mansion. Wesker, for some reason, plays the piano because he just knows to do that. That's all that happens in the mansion. And what's even more infuriating, you had your chance to be a faithful adaptation, and you blew it. And we will never see that again. We won't. If you're lucky, maybe 10 years. If you're lucky, you have to wait 10 years for someone to attempt it again. What is so hard? That's the thing. It's so easy. So why is it so hard for them to do it? You take the first game. You're in one mansion, one location. You're in the middle of nowhere. You cannot get out because there's monsters out there. Or you don't know what's out there in the woods. You have like one member go out. They get ravaged by creatures. We can't go out there because we can barely see in the dark. It's so far away from civilization. Just try to see if there's a way to get out from here. Or maybe try to hold off as long as we can. If they haven't heard from us, they'll send a chopper. We've seen that done in movies. You go around the mansion and you uncover more mysteries of the mansion. You have zombies. Then you have dogs. Then as you uncover further, you have hunters. You have this other stuff. You find this underground lab. The reason you can have so many zombies there, let's say the underground lab, there are people in the mansion, and there's going to be some presentation about this. Something goes wrong. Someone hits a button. The doors are shut. Wesker arrives there. He has a device to unlock it. But he doesn't tell anybody. They go in. It's a slaughterhouse. Kind of like the ship in Deep Rising. Where they went in and it's just, there's blood and stuff everywhere. And then also that's why there's zombies. There's an attack. They couldn't get out. But people got bit, changed. That's why there's zombies in different sections of the house. And that's why there's so many zombies there. Because there's a group of people wanting for this presentation. Something goes wrong. Most of them get killed. Someone waiting up top. Relax. We'll have you come down to see more. There's a lot of stuff you could have done with it. And you don't. And they ruined it. And they had their chance and they blew it. At number one, this would be a short one. The number one worst film I've seen is a flick called The Wet Ones. What was that? That was like a 2.5-hour movie where a guy just played with his dolls. That's what it was. It's a guy taking dolls. You don't see the guy, but you see the doll. And doing this. And whatever stupid dialogue. Trying to be confusing, confounding. And it's just boring. It's someone's shitty pet project for 2.5 hours long. It was 2.5 hours long. I did a rant on that. I would say seat that out. I have a feeling if I yell too much more, I will have a stroke. So, The Wet Ones is the #1 film I've seen this year. That's the worst. The Wet Ones, #1. Welcome to Raccoon City, #2. Ghostbusters Afterlife, #3. Eternals, #4. Army of the Dead, #5. Halloween Kills, #6. Candyman, #7. Home Sweet Home Alone, #8. Coming to America, #9. Space Jam 2, #10. No Way Home, #11. Mortal Kombat 2021, #12. Zack Snyder's Hack League, #13. 14, Old Shit. 15, Venom 2, Let There Be Garbage. 16, Shadow in the Pussy Cloud. 17, Cinderella, Just Woke Shit. 18, Thunder Fist Fuck. 19, Karen. 20, Fuck the Music. And fuck this year. In terms of movies. So, we'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.